Hello and what's up, everybody? Today I'll be talking to you about something, and that something is, let me see. Okay. Today will be something I'll be talking about, which is my top 10 favorite anime. And well, certain things I'll be talking to you about. Well, this is in no particular order, this is just the stuff I like. And I'll be starting with Gurren Lagann. This is a very particular anime. It is a mecha anime. And a lot of you may not like it. A lot of you may like it. It was a really big success in Japan. It focuses on Simone, and for some of the series, his older brother / mentor person. And we don't really know his name. It's mentioned a few times, but it's easily forgotten. And it's essentially about fighting spirit and all of that. It's a very interesting show, but none the least, many don't like it, some do. I'm not going to judge who doesn't. Next, I'm going to talk about Date A Live. This is a show that is, well, very interesting. The main character here has to fall in love with extraterrestrial beings that come out of another dimension, and essentially in order to cancel out their very destructive power, he has to date them, and it creates a very funny harem anime. And it's a very interesting show also, but again, some don't like it, some do like it. And you see this one a lot, and obviously I can't argue on why it's not a bad show. It is one of the best ecchi shows out there. High School DxD, and we all pretty much know how that one goes. And yeah, we all know how that one goes. We all you either watch it for the story or for the plot. And next is The Familiar of Zero. Also, very good show. This one is about the main character here is summoned into an alternate world in which wizards and magic exist. But when he gets summoned into this world, he's summoned as the main female lead's familiar, and then all of you who are, knowledgeable about occult stuff know that a familiar, is the servant of a wizard or mage, and essentially does household chores and helps with magic by essentially being the guinea pig. And they can die, yes, but it's really harder to kill a familiar than it is a normal person or animal or whatever. And then next, Inuyasha. And if you were watching anime back around 2006 when this show started up, you all pretty much know how it goes. It is this anime about these two main characters, Inuyasha and Kagome. Inuyasha is a half-bred demon that wants to be turned into a full-fledged demon with a jewel that is known as the Shikon Jewel, and is essentially rare, powerful, and does that stuff. And Kagome, its new protector, goes back in time to the feudal era of Japan and is supposed to protect said jewel. And forgot to put that down back to size. And next, Shokan no Shana. This show will really make you think on the existence of life and what may happen after death. The main character right here was a normal human being up until about 30 seconds into the show, and then he dies. Yeah, really surprising there, ain't it? He dies. And why does he die? Because he dies. Because the show wants it to go that way. And honestly, very interesting way for it to go down, I must say. But not at all, none the least, very susceptible. And, with this show, when he dies, his existence was taken by what is known as Crimson Denizen, or someone who uses the power of his existence to use this magic-like thing. Which is called the Unrestricted Systems. And And the main female lead, in which he falls in love with, which he dubs her the name Shauna, is a girl known as a Flame Haze, which serves a Crimson Lord, essentially a higher residing title given to those of the Crimson World, which is another dimension next to ours, which is a human vessel for a Crimson Lord to reside in, etc., sort of like a human body vassal that has its own will and stuff. But yeah, very interesting show none the least, and also, I have to say, very interesting. And next is MM. The main character goes to a certain club to have a problem of his tried to be fixed, which is he's a really big masochist. That's his problem. And throughout the entire show, the first female lead, the first female he meets in the show, is trying to help him get rid of his masochism. And he sort of falls for a girl who, in the beginning of the show, which we don't really know until a flashback later, punches him in the face and he becomes a masochist. And apparently she is afraid of men. So this is a really towards comedy show. It's interesting, yes, but really designed towards more a comedic appeal than an ecchi show. But there is a few ecchi scenarios, because I mean, a show about a masochist, are the writers really going to miss up that type of opportunity? And next, we all should know this one has been coming, Naruto. We all know how Naruto goes. It's about this boy named Naruto, who was born in the village of the Leaf of Nijo. And when born, had a demon, the Nine-Tailed Fox demon to be precise, entrapped inside of his body by a certain jutsu known as the Reaper Death Seal, in which his father put in place. Now, Naruto never knew his father was the fourth Hokage, but when his father dies and the third Hokage takes over, because, yeah, death and no one, Naruto's too young to take his place, so next one in line is the third Hokage and his family, once again. And the entire thing goes where, Naruto has to go and try and prove himself, and the entire series is about him coping with this demon inside of him, learning how to control it and use his power for himself, while also maintaining a reputable image. And this is a shonen, really ecchi in the show. It's like pure fighting and all of that stuff, so if that's your cup of tea right there, then I'm not gonna stop you. That's what you like. And another shonen on this list is One Piece, about Monkey D. Luffy. And yeah, we all know how One Piece is. Those have seen it, at least. It's a more comedic appeal to shonen, but it is still a shonen nonetheless, with over 500 episodes at the moment. I mean, really. 500 episodes. And this is a screenshot of one of the season's Romance Dawn, or, I don't know, episode, series. Who cares? Just don't pay attention to that. But, yes. One Piece is about Monkey D. Luffy looking for this legendary treasure left by the last pirate king, known as the One Piece. And as he goes around the world trying to find it, he gathers a pirate crew along the way, and it is about their misadventures as they look for the One Piece. Next, a more recent show, but nonetheless, it'll be entertaining. 25 episodes in total. 2 seasons spanning 12 episodes with one OVA at the end is Kill la Kill. It's about this girl whose father dies and leaves her this essentially suit that essentially siphons blood from the body to use as food to live, and in return you get awesome powers. And the weapon that killed her father, someone used a giant-ass pair of scissors and left half there, and she uses that half to destroy, essentially, people's clothes and demeanor, and reduce them to a sniveling pile of snot and shit, while she looks for the other half, because obviously whoever has the other half of the scissors has to be her father's killer, because that's how it works in anime. They couldn't have just sold it to a pawn shop. Random person buys it because it's a big fucking piece of a scissor blade. No one would have a fetish like that. Real life, someone would. But still, she goes and tries to find the killer. And I haven't seen the entire thing, but I think in the end she does find the killer. I don't know if she does. If she doesn't, I'll have to look on that. But I'm in the middle of watching Inuyasha again, so that's on hold at the moment. But really interesting show nonetheless. Next one, a lot of you are going to hate me for not putting SAO, but Log Horizon. I think it's a better show overall. Same premise as Sword Art Online, except I think way better done. Yes, they don't go much into the backstory on who they were before they entered the game and got stuck in there, or what they do after, or if there's even an after, or if they're just stuck in there perpetually. But overall, the concept was done to a stunning mark, better than SAO. But SAO and Log Horizon are not the first games of this type, which is survival / game related anime. It's just one of the better ones. And honestly, I'm going to keep my opinion that way. Next is Outbreak Company. And this one, if you want comedy / parody anime that is good, well then, this one is for you. Because it puts a lot of jokes on cliches and anime in general. Because the main character right here is your usual otaku. You know, got a lot of anime and stuff, your general anime otaku. And Japan finds a dimension with a fantasy world. And they choose the main character here to go and essentially teach otaku culture to this fantasy world. And when he gets there, he gets a maid, which is a half-elf, which is right here. So, yeah, love interest / servant cliche. He has this girl that protects him. Yeah, second love interest / protects the main character, which can't do shit cliche. The leader of the country, which is a lolly. So, cute, young, same age group as the protagonist cliche. The brother of the ruler, secret gay guy in the shonen cliche, and then for just the hell of it, furry. Because, you know, what's Japan without their lust for furries? I mean, but still. It's a harem / parody show with a lot of great jokes in it. Really comedic, and honestly, it should stay that way. And I'm hoping for a second season. And my number one fucking pick of them all is Spice and Wolf. This show, I think, is the best of all freaking time at the moment. There's no freaking way you can persuade me otherwise. Spice and Wolf is about a traveling merchant named Lawrence in the late Middle Ages. One day, while sleeping in a barn, he goes out in the middle of the night because he hears something, and he finds a half-naked, well, actually fully naked girl in his cart named Holo. Now, Holo isn't a normal girl. Holo is a pagan god of that town. She is the god of beauty and good harvest. And she wants to go back to her homeland where she originated from, which she just dubs the North. And Craft Lawrence agrees to take her there on several conditions. That she pay for her own way when he gets back, and that she doesn't get him killed. And essentially, in the beginning, they just start out as mutual acquaintances, just go in the same direction. And eventually, Lawrence ends up falling for Holo, and then Holo, in turn, somehow falls in love with him after several comedic misadventures. And towards the end, as they get towards their destination, they end up realizing that they both love each other. Now, there's no ecchi in this show. Sorry for all those who like that. If you want something like that, you have High School DxD, or you could just go watch some hentai. I mean, really, no one's gonna judge. Well, maybe a little, but that's for later. And yeah, this show is very, very interesting, but Holo, which is right here, yeah, falls in love with this guy. Now, the age of Lawrence isn't really known, and the age of Horo isn't really known, although they look sort of like young adolescent, elder, yeah, mid, young adult, adolescent. They look that way, but if you think about it, pagan god, mortal, who do you think's really older? Just so if you guys say, oh no, adultery, just consider that fact that one of them's a pagan god that's hundreds of years old, and the other one is probably a 23-year-old man. Just consider that. So yeah, just consider that bit right there, and I will see you all next time.